Today must be really exciting for Palantir's. Palantir just rallied in price. Multiple massive contracts have just been dropped. People are excited. Palantir could potentially reach $1,000 soon, but there's a catch. The US government and Donald Trump just confirmed something big is about to happen. And this can be the X factor for Palantir to reach $1,000. What is happening? And what on earth am I even talking about? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. Today is a fantastic day for Palantir, and investors are finally catching a break. The stock price has just surged into the $90 region. And while that might not seem like a huge jump to $100, it's still a massive shift from the nerve-wracking roller coaster of the past few days. Just recently, things were looking pretty rough. Volatility was through the roof, with deep dips and constant uncertainty hanging over the market. Every move felt unpredictable, and no one really knew what was coming next. There was a sense of panic in the air, with people questioning whether the stock could hold up or if another steep drop was just around the corner. But today, the mood has completely shifted. The stock seems to have finally found some stability, at least for now. And that alone is enough to give investors some much-needed breathing room. Instead of constant fear and hesitation, there's a growing sense of confidence, maybe even excitement, about what's ahead. People can finally take a step back, reassess their positions, and figure out their next moves without feeling like the ground is shifting beneath them every second. The atmosphere is way calmer now. The panic that was gripping investors just days ago is slowly fading away, replaced by a feeling of cautious optimism. It's not just about the price moving up. It's about the psychological shift that comes with it. When a stock stabilizes, even temporarily, it gives people the chance to regain their composure and make more rational decisions instead of reacting purely on emotion. Of course, the big question now is, what happens next? Will Palantir keep climbing, or is this just a temporary break before more volatility kicks in? No one knows for sure, but for now, one thing is clear. Today is a rare moment of relief in what has been a pretty intense ride. Here's the thing. An analyst just stepped in to break down what's really happening with Palantir's chart, and his explanation makes a lot of sense. According to him, what used to be a supply zone is now acting as a fresh level of demand. In simple terms, the price has found a solid base, and if the market shows some strength in the coming days or weeks, Palantir could be a stock worth keeping a very close eye on. So far, there's already been an impressive 11% bounce off this zone, which is no small move. And with this kind of momentum, the next logical target? That big $100 mark. If everything lines up just right, that could be the next major stop while still managing risk the same way. It's not a guarantee, of course, nothing ever is in the market, but this shift in structure is definitely something traders and investors will be watching closely. So, what just happened? Why did Palantir's stock suddenly take off? Well, one analyst just sent shockwaves through the Palantir community. William Blair analysts pointed out that the company is in a prime spot to benefit from new government policies, especially Elon Musk's Doge. The Trump administration's push for a centralized payment tracking system? According to them, it practically has Palantir's name on it. They believe Palantir's AI-driven platforms are the ideal choice, making it a strong contender for major federal contracts. Investors jumped on the news, pushing Palantir's stock up nearly 7% to the $90 range. That brings its gains this year to 19%. And despite some turbulence, the stock has more than tripled over the past year. William Blair analysts also upgraded their rating, saying Palantir could reach $125 in the next 2 years as the market shifts back toward riskier, high-growth plays. And they're not alone. Wedbush analysts just called Palantir one of their top names to own in 2025, with a $120 price target. While other government contractors brace for spending cuts, Palantir could actually secure even more deals. With all this momentum, it's clear. Palantir is a stock to watch. And here's the crazy part. Palantir has been absolutely unstoppable lately. One analyst just pointed out that the company locked in 2 massive deals in just the past 2 days. First, they teamed up with TWG Global, a huge holding company, to roll out AI across financial services and insurance underwriting. That alone is a big deal. But then, they also landed a partnership with Societe Generale, one of the biggest banks in Europe, managing over $1 trillion in assets. What's exciting about these deals isn't just their size, it's what they represent. Palantir is proving once again that it's not just a government contractor. It's expanding deeper into the commercial world, showing companies across industries that they need an AI operating system to stay ahead. And more often than not, Palantir is the first name they turn to. The Société Générale deal is especially interesting because it signals international growth. While Palantir's U.S. commercial business has been booming, its global expansion has been a bit slower. But with Europe now ramping up defense spending, there's a real opportunity for Palantir to break into key markets like France and Germany. CEO Alex Karp has been vocal about European officials not fully grasping the importance of AI in defense. But if Palantir can change that mindset and secure high-level contracts, it could open the door to a whole new wave of growth. And here's where it gets even more exciting. Momentum like this could easily push Palantir's stock back toward that $100 range. The company is firing on all cylinders, signing major deals, and proving its value in both commercial and government sectors. If this pace continues, it's hard to ignore just how big Palantir's future could be. This is really big. So big that it's got people speculating like crazy about where Palantir's stock could be headed next. One analyst on Twitter just threw out a bold take saying that $200 is right around the corner. But others? They're going even bigger. Some are hopeful that Palantir could hit $500 or even an eye-popping $1,000 in the near future. Now, of course, these are just speculations. No one can predict the future with absolute certainty. But the fact that people are even throwing around numbers like this shows just how much confidence is building around Palantir. The company is locking in major deals, proving its AI dominance, and expanding both commercially and internationally. If this momentum keeps up, it's hard to ignore the possibility that Palantir's best days are still ahead. But wait, something crazy just happened today too. Donald Trump just made a massive announcement saying, "We're sending help to a country in the Middle East. Everything they need to finish the job." And this could be huge for Palantir. Palantir has always been deeply connected to defense, intelligence, and military contracts. The company provides advanced AI-driven software that helps governments and militaries make real-time decisions, analyze massive amounts of data, and enhance national security efforts. If the U.S. is about to step up military support for other countries in a big way, it's hard to ignore the possibility that Palantir could play a key role in these operations. More aid means more spending, and more spending means a higher demand for the kind of cutting-edge technology Palantir provides. And here's where things get really interesting. Investors are already speculating on what this could mean for Palantir's stock price. Just earlier, people were talking about Palantir potentially hitting $200 soon. But after this announcement, some are going even bigger. There are talks that this could be the push Palantir needs to reach $500, maybe even $1,000. Now, of course, no one can predict the market with 100% certainty. But when you step back and look at everything that's been happening, the non-stop momentum, the massive commercial deals, the growing government contracts, and now this major geopolitical development, it's clear that Palantir is in a very strong position. If this trend continues, if more contracts come in, if governments start realizing just how essential AI-powered defense tech is, then the sky really might be the limit for Palantir. And just like that, it's starting to look like one bold prediction might not be so far-fetched after all. A Twitter analyst recently claimed that by 2030, Palantir could become a trillion-dollar company. At the time, it sounded like a wild take, but with everything happening right now, it's starting to make a lot more sense. Palantir keeps landing massive contracts, expanding its reach, and proving that AI isn't just a buzzword. It's becoming a necessity for governments and businesses alike. The company is showing up in defense, finance, healthcare, and beyond, solidifying itself as the go-to name for high-level AI-driven operations. And as these deals pile up, so does the potential for Palantir's value to skyrocket. At this point, it's not just hype. The pieces are actually falling into place. If Palantir keeps this momentum going, breaking into more industries, securing bigger contracts, and leading the falling into place, the only question is, are you ready for what's coming? But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Palantir update might make you lose money, so don't risk it. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. The market is slowly recovering today. Palantir price is still in dire condition. Investors are skeptical. It's getting out of hand. But something big came up today. One analyst pointed out something odd. Wall Street might have made a big mistake. The Pentagon just dropped massive bombshells, and this flipped the whole script for Palantir, which might push its price to the heavens. What is happening? And what on earth am I even talking about? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer: Palantir's looking a little rough today. Its price took another hit, dropping back down to around the $100 range. The only silver lining? It's actually a slight rebound from an even uglier dip the other day when it crashed below $100. It's slowly recovering. But yeah, it's still sitting in the red, and that's not exactly what investors want to see. What makes this even crazier is how fast things changed. Just days ago, Palantir was on fire. The stock was climbing, people were celebrating, and the price even touched $120. The hype was real. Everyone was pumped, thinking this was just the beginning of a bigger rally. But today, completely different story. The mood has flipped. Investors are on edge, some are panicking, and the excitement has turned into doubt. The bears seem to be in full control, pushing the price down, while bulls are left wondering if this is just a dip or the start of something worse. It's a dramatic shift in sentiment, and it's shaking up the Palantir community. The confidence that was there just a few days ago feels like it's fading. Some are holding strong, believing in the long-term potential, while others are questioning if they should cut their losses. It's the kind of volatility that keeps the stock market interesting, but also nerve-wracking for those holding on. And here's the kicker. Palantir has lost a massive $55 billion in market cap since its all-time high. That's a huge chunk of value just wiped out. No wonder investors are feeling uneasy. But wait, while some people are panicking and turning bearish, there's still a huge crowd staying optimistic. Not everyone is convinced this downturn is a bad thing. In fact, a lot of investors are seeing it as a golden opportunity. Some analysts believe this might actually be the last real chance to scoop up Palantir at a discounted price before it takes off again. One analyst even laid it all out on Twitter, saying this upcoming dip could be the final opportunity to buy below $100. He's convinced that with the major catalysts on the way, Palantir is on track to becoming a trillion-dollar company. That's a bold prediction, but he's not the only one thinking this way. Big institutions in Wales seem to be preparing for something big. They know what's coming, and they're not hesitating to position themselves early. According to this analyst, $150 isn't just possible, it's inevitable, and it could happen sooner than most people think. And honestly, that's what makes this situation so interesting. On one side, you've got people panicking, selling off, convinced that the worst is yet to come. But on the other, you've got these long-term believers who see Palantir as massively undervalued right now. To them, this isn't the end of the rally. It's just a brief shakeout before the next leg up. If this analyst is right, missing out at these levels could be a decision people look back on with regret. It wouldn't be the first time a high-growth stock looked weak before making a massive move. And here's something even more interesting. Another analyst is hinting that a big reversal might be on the way. He's looking at the charts and wondering if an island reversal is forming, which could mean a major shift in Palantir's price action. He even said he'd love another chance to add more shares, which tells you he's not worried about the dip. He's actually hoping for it. According to him, there's a potential gap fill between $99 and $85, meaning we could see some more downside before things turn around. But the key takeaway? He thinks this setup should absolutely be on everyone's radar next week. So while some investors are stressing over the drop, others are zooming out, watching for that perfect moment to jump back in. If this reversal plays out the way some analysts are predicting, Palantir's current weakness could end up being just a temporary shakeout before a big comeback. But here's the thing. Let's take a step back and remember what actually caused this massive drop in the first place. It wasn't just random market movements. The big trigger? Donald Trump's announcement about cutting the defense budget by 8% annually. That news hit the Palantir community hard. People panicked, and for a good reason. We've talked about this before. Palantir relies heavily on government contracts for a huge chunk of its revenue. So when investors heard about potential budget cuts, they immediately started worrying about how much this could impact the company's future earnings. And just when things were already looking shaky, CEO Alex Karp made things worse by positioning to sell around $2 billion worth of stock. That move sent another wave of doubt through the market. If the CEO himself was offloading such a massive amount, what did that say about Palantir's future? Investors didn't like the answer, and the stock took a hit. So all of this combined, the budget cuts, the uncertainty about government contracts, and the CEO's massive stock sale, created the perfect storm for a sell-off. But here's the crazy part. This whole budget cut situation might actually be good for Palantir. One analyst pointed out that while the market is panicking over an 8% defense budget cut, they're missing the bigger picture. The government isn't just spending less, it's spending differently. A massive $900 billion budget is being shifted away from outdated legacy contractors and toward cutting-edge tech, AI, automation, and real-time decision-making. And that shift? It's a huge tailwind for Palantir. Palantir's entire business is about making government operations more efficient. And with the Department of Defense now being forced to do more with less, the demand for its software could actually increase. And this isn't just speculation. Palantir is already deeply involved in key AI-driven Pentagon programs, like Project Maven, the Army's Titan program, and Space Force's satellite analytics. These aren't side projects. They're central to the Pentagon's modernization plans. And let's talk about military strategy. It's evolving fast. The future of defense isn't just missiles and tanks. It's AI-driven warfare, cyber defense, and autonomous decision-making. The Pentagon's Replicator program, which focuses on mass-deploying AI-powered military systems, proves this shift is happening now. And who's at the center of it? Palantir. Legacy defense contractors aren't built for this new era, but Palantir is. So why is the stock down? Because Wall Street still doesn't fully get Palantir. Investors are treating it like a traditional defense contractor instead of recognizing its role in the government's AI-driven transition. The Pentagon isn't cutting AI spending, it's doubling down on it. But instead of focusing on that, investors latched onto Alex Karp's stock sale, which fueled panic selling. The bottom line? Palantir isn't struggling in this new defense landscape, it's thriving. While old-school contractors drown in bureaucracy, Palantir is moving fast, delivering AI-driven solutions where they matter most. And as the Pentagon shifts toward efficiency, Palantir isn't just a good option. It's becoming essential. Wall Street might take time to catch on, but the Pentagon already sees it. Palantir isn't suffering from these budget cuts. It's benefiting from them. And if AI-driven defense spending continues to grow, this dip might not be a warning sign. It might be a massive buying opportunity. This is insanely bullish for Palantir. If anything, this shift in defense spending could be exactly what pushes the company to new heights. We've talked before about Wall Street's prediction that Palantir could hit $1 trillion valuation one day. And honestly, with how things are shaping up, that might not be as far off as people think. This deal is setting the stage for something big. And here's the thing. No matter what the bears say, Palantir keeps proving them wrong. Just like this analyst pointed out, the skeptics are completely missing the bigger picture. They keep focusing on things like the high price-to-earnings ratio or stock dilution, but they're ignoring what actually matters: the company's fundamentals. Palantir isn't just another overhyped stock. It has real-world impact, government contracts that are only getting stronger, and a technology stack that's becoming more essential as defense priorities shift toward AI. Most investors still don't seem to fully understand what Palantir is actually building. They're stuck analyzing numbers on a spreadsheet, while the company is out there reshaping the future of defense and intelligence. At the end of the day, Wall Street can stay skeptical, but Palantir keeps doing what it does best: winning critical contracts, expanding its influence, and positioning itself at the center of the AI revolution. And if that trillion-dollar prediction ends up coming true, it won't be because of hype. It'll be because Palantir has earned it. But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Palantir update might make you lose money. So, don't risk it. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.